Hi everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy, and I just kind of looked at the camera and saw this lovely mess that's spread here before you. And this is kind of what I'm working with for this week's Challenge Accepted. Shannon and I are both doing the Great British Scrap Off June Challenge at For the Love of Pretty Paper, otherwise known as FTLOPP. And the signature element, it's based on the British TV show, The Great British Bake Off. And there's always a signature element. And so for this month, it's your favorite color. The technical requirements are wood, ribbon, layers, grid design, and sewing. And the showstopper are that it would contain flaps or hidden elements. So, let's see. My plan is a white piece of white cardstock. I've taken a piece of pattern paper. It's the paper that has this on one side and this grid and yellow spot on the other side in the Vicki Boutin Color Study paper pack, and it is called Abstract. So I've taken that and I cut it in half, and then and this was one half, and then this was the other half. And I glued these flaps together and folded these so that I can glue this whole thing onto a piece of white pattern paper and then open it up like a booklet this way or this way. And I've printed some photos that could go in there. I've got a piece of yellow, listen to me. I've got this piece of paper that I cut some matting out of. And I've got this, which is the bright lime green. And then this is purple cardstock. And those two colors will be repeated because those are my signature favorite colors. So I've got this little scrap of purple. I've got another bit of purple, different purple pattern somewhere. So I'm just going to kind of start throwing it together. The only decision I have made is that this black and blue salvia is going to be the signature cover page kind of thing. So I matted a 4x4 photo with this purple cardstock and put it on the grid with the yellow part, and then I'll layer around that and kind of decorate it. I'm gonna have two of the lime green pieces of cardstock here. I'm probably gonna do them like that. And then I've got various photos, and I've got this little block of journaling that'll go in there somewhere. I'll probably mat it on either the lime green or the purple, depending on what it's going to go on. And I have an extra piece of this to go in here. And I fussy cut some flowers, and so let's just get started seeing where we go with this. I have no preconceived notion of where anything needs to be. My grid design is going to be in the grid that I've made of these flower photos. So let's just say, and then there's grids all over the place. I thought about maybe doing a grid by doing a couple photos, but then I wouldn't have anything to go inside, and I want stuff inside. And so I thought, okay, this can go inside, and I've printed one at a grid, so that might qualify for the let me put this out. That might get us by on the challenge. Okay, let's see. I'm this is kind of a mess. I do know that I want these wood elements on the front of this booklet. And I thought I might layer them up like that. I'm supposed to have layers, and so I've got some layers of scraps that I intend to use. I'll find them in there somewhere. I know that this is gonna go on the front. I have two like branding strip size layers that I was gonna put in there. This is really a mess, and I apologize. Let me get these things here. This may go on one of these. That's Fussy Cut. Here we go. I'm gonna take these two elements and layer one behind the mat and the other behind the photo. I think I'll go the purple one behind the photo. It's just both two sides of the same branding strip. Am I getting ready to run out of adhesive? That's not great. Okay, where's my other piece? Here it is. Okay, I'll do this kind of inside there. This is not cooperating at all. It's kind of a mess. This is, I think, my third video today. I'm trying to, I'm making this kind of a week and a half or so before you'll see it, but I'm going to be on vacation when this gets published. So I've just got to be sure that I get everything done before I go. Okay, there, I think we can do that. And then these things will fan out too, so I think that's okay. Okay, then this is gonna get some glue. I really don't want to put those on there because it'll make the booklet a little harder to work with. I'll do that more towards the end. So now let's look at how these things are going to be configured. I was thinking maybe I would do the journaling here and maybe do, I love that piece of the paper and I want it to show, so I'm going to put it on differently. I don't want to cover it with the journaling. So I think if I put that there and squinch that up to the end, I can maybe layer in the journaling, which says to me it's going to get matted in the purple. That's not a big enough piece, so let's do it this way. Okay. And I've got some little bitty, some holes that were punched out when I used a border punch. And I've located some of those, and they're in that same lime green grid paper, so I can use those for little small embellishments in a couple places, so that might work right like that, right? Okay, let me get this on here kind of like that. I will put this on here, and I kind of want it to be able to flap up. Have this there. Okay, so that will work. This is Basil Basics, and the color is velvet, and I love it, and I have owned it for many years and probably hoarded it, but I used it today. Okay, there. Now, I also want one of these kind of in the center. I want to line it up the same way that one's lined up, but only in the center of the page. Come on. It's lost its alignment there. Let me get that. Those lines are not really lined up. So it's more important to me visually that these be lined up than those for those lines to be lined up. Okay, there. Now I can do this one because I mentioned the different flowers in here. So I can put this one on here, and I don't think it needs to be matted. And I'm not putting anything on foam because I don't want that much dimension in the book. Okay, there we go. And I may come back and add some layers to that. Let's see. Now going this way, I know I want this. Let's see. I'm gonna have to cut another piece of this, and this is 4x4, okay? So that'll be consistent on all the pages, no matter what's on there. Oh my, I don't need that. Okay, so these, I'm just gonna go ahead, since I know I'm gonna use them, I'm gonna go ahead and glue them down on this page. Let me get that. Okay, there. I kind of wanted to cover up as few of those numbers as I could get away with. But what I need is for the corners to hit the ends there. And this one's going to be a little bit, you can't line it up the same way because it's a little different, although this corner and this corner can line up. Okay, so those are there. This one is already matted. It's kind of a dramatic looking flower. One of my favorite irises. It's about 20 different colors of purple, all in the same flower. This is not matted. And I didn't even mat it with white. So let me see if matting it in purple looks good. Yeah, that actually does. So I'll give it a little bit wider matte in the purple. And then I can layer some other patterns around it to add something. Okay, so that looks good. It's almost the same size as that. And did I put that one on there crooked? No, I guess it looks straight now that I look at it. here, down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go back in and maybe do some of that layering. I think we have, yeah, this is what gets glued to the page. So I'm not going to do that yet. This is where these are glued together, and that's where my stitching is going to be. I'm not going to actually do stitching, because those of you who know me know that's not my thing. But this is how I'm going to use the ribbon. It's going to look like it's tying the book together, and of course it's not. But inside there, where that flap is glued to the other flap, I'm going to use some that actually, I don't think I need to cut those, and I'm happy with the bow. So I think that's gonna work. Let me go ahead and glue it down now. And I have to decide. I'm thinking I wanted it down here, but then the ribbon kind of comes off the page. So I'm going to try to maybe center it. I should measure, but you know, not me, not my thing. Okay. I do not want an inked pad rolling onto my page. That's a no-no. Okay, I'm going to do this here, and then we'll start kind of building up some layers. I'm gonna do the wood, the watering can with dry adhesive, and I'm gonna put it on kind of straight on. And this leaf, I'm gonna put on with glue because it's kind of sticking out there. Let's see. We'll just throw it on there like that. Okay, and because we agreed to do layers for this challenge, I may fussy cut another flower and have it layered back behind there. And I have my eye on this purple one, so I'm just gonna kind of cut it carefully. These overlap with other colors, and so I'm just kind of cutting out with a black border around it, but I'm going to go back now and, well, actually, does that look bad? Not too terribly bad. Let me, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I can find a leaf. See, the leaves aren't the leaves are purple though. Some leaves are purple, so let me get this purple leaf and this other purple leaf right here. Well, actually that's with another purple flower, so let me go ahead and I'll cut those together, and I'll layer another flower with some foam over that one. And we'll It's not going to be perfect. These flowers aren't as ideal for fussy cutting as a couple of the other florals. But these flowers I think are just gorgeous. And I love them. So I wanted to include them on a page that is highlighting my signature color of purple. So let me get this. Kind of right there. And then I've got this leaf that I can put out over here on the other side. And until I had put all this together, there was no way I could really see what I was going to use. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, let me actually, I don't like that. I'm going to put it here. Okay. It was kind of bending the wrong way. Okay, what do I want here on the front? It's kind of about growing lots of, the journaling talks about how we started these, a lot of these plants go back to our gardens in Houston and have, kind of traveled with us. So I'm gonna use this, making the world more colorful. It needs to be on foam because it's got the same color background. Oh, why don't I just put it on the white? Well, still it needs foam. Everything needs foam. I like putting word strips and tiny letters and anything like that that might tend to fade into the background. I like putting it on foam, and I'm going to put that to help it kind of stick into place, but it's mostly going to be held by this liquid glue. And I'm going to let this be the title. I don't need a big title on this, but I do want whatever this is to be not upside down. Okay. Now, I'm gonna kind of fold this, or that's why I didn't really want to put that on there, but I kind of needed to see how it's gonna look. I like the top of this tag for layering right in here. And so I think I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use the other one, just the top as well. And I can die cut something out of that, or just use that as it is. Let me just fold that back and tear it off. And then I can cut these. Because I think all the colors in here are represented in those flowers. And I like that. Kathy likes this. Okay, I can do something like that, and I can let it stick up above here. I think that would work. Actually, this needs to go down here. that works for me. I'm gonna kind of glue those. Together like that. Actually, you know what? Don't I want it on this side? Because, well, no, I don't. I guess I'll do it this way. Okay, there, and then I had an idea to use, oh, I do want some of this somewhere, maybe a torn bit right there. Just tear a tiny little piece and kind of just put it right there. Nothing exotic. Just something that brings that color down here. Okay, so this is going to end. There's something that says details somewhere. Story, okay, and I can put that right there, and it kind of looks like a tab. And then here I want to use this today, because on the day that I photographed these, they were all in bloom on the same day. Okay, let's see, we now have these to layer up. And we're still seeing the layers that were done kind of behind this are still showing here. So I kind of like that. It means that I don't have to do so much layering there. And I don't necessarily want to do a whole lot because of the pattern in the paper. So let me fussy cut a butterfly for each of these pages, and that is all the layering I'm going to do on these 2 pages, because there's so much color in the background. And I'm not gonna try to give these a lot of dimension. I'll kind of curl this one up, maybe a little bit like that, just for the hell of it. Let's see, I'd like one that maybe that would be good. So they're both gonna have cut wings. In a small scrap like this, it's hard to find a whole butterfly, but I think this is gonna work. That is going to show kind of out this way. You'll see a little bit of that, and that's perfectly all right. So I think I'm done. Let me do the part that is going to stand in for stitching. See, I've got, this needs to be turned around, so let me be careful about that. It's going to be right in there, and I'm just going to take this, a length of this. It'll look like stitching because it alternates black and white, and it'll serve the purpose of stitching because I'm going to be using glue to kind of hold these together permanently. So there, and there's a little tad of that glue right at that seam. I'm just gonna do that and kind of stretch it out and press it in. So that's my stitching. And actually, off camera, what I may do is a little bit of stitching in the corner of the page, or maybe kind of right there. I may punch some holes and run some black thread through there. But for now, I think this is done. I could use something right here. Do I have a flower that I could easily fussy cut? Having this flower up close to that one is so different. This one actually might work. I should have my decorative scissors here. Only half of this is going to be showing, so once I get finished doing the fussy cutting, I'll look at what part is ugliest, and that's the part that'll get hidden. And okay, so I'm gonna cut that in half because I don't want that much sticking out. A butterfly would have been good there, huh? Okay, that works. And now let me use maybe some of these. I'm gonna maybe do one right here. I'm just gonna put it there as if it were, you know, like a pop dot or not a pop dot, but a sequin or an enamel dot. I'm gonna do this here. Oops. I had two, and I've done that with sequins too. Who hasn't? Okay, I'm gonna do a little here, well, like that. Okay, that should work. I'm going to use this word snapshot. I'm going to put it on foam. Where's my skinny piece of foam that I had especially for this? I may have used it all. So, not a problem. I will cut a piece here and make it skinny. And do that right there. Okay, I'm done. So thank you for watching. I will see you next week, next Thursday for Challenge Accepted. and I hope you enjoyed this. Let me do a last minute check on our challenge and see if I did everything. Favorite color. There's purple and lime green all over the place here, so yeah. And in truth, my favorite color is all of them. But there's wood, there's ribbon, there are layers, there's a grid design both on this paper and somewhere in here on one of the photos. On this photo, there's some kind of fake sewing there. I may, like I said, I may add some, maybe a little X inside each of these. That might be cute. And flaps are hidden elements, so there's certainly that. Let me make sure this doesn't hit when I open that. I want that to be, that's a design element there. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. For as much as is on here, it looks minimalist, doesn't it, when I look at it in the camera. So thanks for watching. Bye.